Hi there. Today we're breaking down why Trump's plans might not be all they're cracked up to be. Let's start with a jaw-dropping fact. Trump cut $50 billion from medical research funding. That's right, $50 billion less for breakthroughs in health and science. But where's all that money going instead? First, he's eyeing a whopping $500 billion for Project Stargate, a massive investment in AI technologies designed to replace jobs. Next, there's the ambitious goal of planting a flag on Mars with another $500 billion price tag. And then there are the tax cuts, primarily benefiting the wealthiest 1%, costing an additional $500 billion each year. Let's do the math. These three priorities alone rack up a $1.5 trillion bill, cutting $50 billion from health research. That's just a drop in the bucket compared to this spending spree. So where can he collect money from? Since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, the US has sent over $50 billion per year to Ukraine, largely in the form of aging military equipment to support global security. Redirecting that amount barely makes a dent. Another drop in this incredible bucket, but what about tariffs? Even if Trump imposed a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico without any negative consequences, spoiler alert, that's unlikely, it would only generate $150 billion. Throw in tariffs on China, and the total might reach $450 billion. Sounds like a lot, but trade wars often cause more harm than good, leaving us far from balancing the books. Let's continue while dreaming that it all worked out according to his plan. Next, let's talk about deporting immigrants. Removing 10 million low-wage workers might open up jobs for US citizens, but here's the catch. Most Americans don't want these jobs. However, this could change. Economic pressure from inflation and job loss to AI could force people to work longer hours for lower pay and delay retirement by several years. If American citizens could absorb all of these jobs by working longer hours to an older age, the net revenue going to the government would be negligible because these will not generate a lot of profit. But for the sake of argument, let's say this generated a further $50 billion in government revenue. We will call this increased productivity due to economic pressure. Even if this boosted government revenue by $50 billion, a generous estimate, it still wouldn't make a significant impact. That brings us to $600 billion, covering the tax cuts for the ultra-rich, but leaving a massive gap for AI systems and the Mars missions. And here's the kicker. The AI systems being funded at $500 billion are designed to replace millions of jobs, including those of lawyers, accountants, artists, and many others. Meanwhile, the Mars mission is a distant dream that the richest individuals could fund themselves, but instead, the burden is shifted to government revenue. Musk himself is already worth $400 billion, but of course they don't want to burden the oligarchy. Where does that leave us? The math simply doesn't add up for working-class Americans. If you were hoping these plans would benefit the working class, I've got bad news. The numbers don't work in your favor. Instead, the weight of these policies will fall squarely on the shoulders of everyday Americans. And it's not just the US that will feel the strain. Trump's plans are likely to push costs onto Canada, Mexico, and other countries. While they will resist, Americans may not have that option. Trump is not for you, for they or them. He is only about toys for the oligarchy. So the big question remains, where is the rest of this money really going to come from? And at what cost to you? Think about that.